Welcome back to Mac Talks Football. It's match day 26 in a Serie A, and just with just 13 games to go, the lead could not be more tighter. You have three teams at the top of the table in Napoli, in Atalanta, in Inter fighting it out for the title. Just 5 points separating them. These three teams. Then from fourth, Juventus in fourth up until Roma at ninth. There's just 9 points separating all of those teams are trying to get into those European places. You come down at the bottom of the table from 13th place of Como at 25 points up until 20th place Monza at 14 points. 98 teams for just 11-point difference, and all of them in that relegation struggle. So it is really tight at the moment in Serie A. So let's go ahead and make our prediction, and we see what happens this weekend, and whether the games are going to have an effect on the table or not. The first game, it is Lecce versus Udinese. It is 15th versus 10th. Now, Lecce, both of these teams have, have had quite a good run recently. Both of them are undefeated in their last three games. Before that, both of them lost their two games. Then Lecce, they have won just once in their last three games, two draws. Udinese, on the other hand, two wins and a draw. So both of them are coming in this game with sort of a good form, and I think it is the good form for both of them are going to continue. I think it is going to be quite an exciting game and entertaining game. We are going to get goals in this one, but I don't think we are going to get a winner. I'm going for a 1-all draw between Lecce and Udinese. Then the first game on Saturday, it is Parma versus Bologna. It's a big game. Parma are really struggling at the bottom of the table on 18th place. Bologna on the other hand, they are on 8th place. One of those teams who are fighting it out to get into those European places. Parma, they have a new manager. Whether he will be successful or not, that is a big question. They have their winners in their last 5 games. Last 4 games have been defeats. Bologna on the other hand, undefeated in their last 5 games, 3 wins and 2 draws. So they are coming in a really good form, and I think it's not going to be a good start for the new manager for Parma. I think it is going to be 5 defeats in a row for Parma. I think Bologna are going to nick it, and it is going to be quite a comfortable victory for Bologna as well. I'm going for a 2-0 win for a Bologna. Then it's Venezia versus Lazio. It is 19th versus 5th. Venezia are really struggling. They are winless in their last 5 games. Their last 3 games have been defeats as well. So there is no really a clear pathway for Venezia at the moment. Playing against a Lazio side who are fighting it out for those Champions League places. They are level on points with Juventus, who are at fourth, but they are on fifth just on the basis of a goal difference. They have lost. They have won 3 out of their last 5 games. They have lost once as well. But I think this game, Lazio are the clear favorites as well. I think even though they are the away side, I think they have too much in their tank to against Venezia. I think they are going to get the job done as well. And again, I think it is going to be quite an easy win for Lazio as well. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Lazio. Moving on, it is Torino versus Milan. It is 12th versus 7th. Now Torino, they have just 1 win in their last 5 games. They lost last weekend as well, so they are not in a really good form coming into this game. Playing against a Milan side who on the other hand are in a really good form. 3 wins out of their last 5 games as well. Last 2 weekends they have won as well. But the fact of the matter is they got eliminated from the Champions League midweek, so that is going to be playing on their minds as well. So it is a very crucial game for Milan. They need to continue winning as well. I think them and Bologna at the moment are in a driving seat against all of those teams who are fighting it out for those Champions League places, because all of them have a game. Both of them have a game in hand. They're just 5 points behind Juventus and Lazio. They win this one and they have a game in hand, and they win that one as well, and they can overtake both of them. So it's a big game here. And I think even though Milan are the away side, I think what happened to them in the midweek in the Champions League, I think that is going to be on their mind as well. And I think they are going to give a response to their fans. And unfortunately for Torino, their form is not that good, and I think Milan are going to take advantage as well. I'm going for a very hard 2-1 win for Milan. Moving on, it is Inter versus Genoa. It is second versus 12th. Now both these teams have in the last 5 games have won twice, lost twice, and drew one time. So both of them are coming into this game quite an inconsistent consistent form. Inter have not had such a bad form for about 2-3 months this season. So it is quite concerning that it is happening to them at a very crucial point of the season. And Genoa might think that might be our chance to maybe put the pressure even further. Or Inter lost last weekend as well. So they are really under the pump at the moment. But it's a big crucial game. It is at the San Siro, and I think that is the advantage that Inter have. I think it will be a very quite a fun game to watch. I think it will be a hard game for Inter, if I'm being very honest with you. But I somehow think Inter are going to nick it in the end. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Inter. Then it's a Como versus Napoli. It is 13th versus first. Como, they won last weekend, but before that, there were three defeats in a row. So they would be really happy that they have finally broken that, losing a streak has come to an end. They are playing against a Napoli side who are undefeated in their last 5 games, but their last 3 games have been draws, and that has really affected, their chances at the top of the table. They are lucky that Inter are having a really bad game, and they are lucky that Atalanta are not able to win their games. Otherwise, that top spot could have easily been taken from them. The last 3 draws has really affected their the points gap as well. But this is going to be quite a crucial game for both of them. Como are one of those sides that can really hurt Napoli, if I'm being very honest with you, and I think that is why I'm going with this prediction. It might shock a few people, but I think Napoli are going to draw yet another game this weekend. I'm going for a very entertaining, full of goals, 2-all draw between Como and Napoli. Then it's Verona versus Fiorentina. It is 16th versus 6th. Verona are in all sorts of trouble. Just 1 win in their last 5 games, 3 defeats. Their last 2 games have been defeats as well, and they're not playing good football as well, to be very honest with you. They are playing against a Fiorentina side who, for the last 2 weekends, I don't know what's happened to them. They were going in a really good run of football. They were winning games, and they were getting back the momentum that they lost, and they were really fighting it out for those European places. It looked like they were going to be, for sure, it looked like they were going to be one of those teams who finish in those Champions League places, but the last two weekends they have lost their games, and that has pushed them down to 6. So it's a very crucial weekend for Fiorentina. They cannot really afford to slip up yet again, and I don't think they are going to slip up, even though they are the away side. I think Verona are not going to be that much of a problem for them. I don't think they are going to give them that many threats as well. I think it's going to be a win, and I think it's going to be an easy win for Fiorentina. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Fiorentina. Moving on, it is Empoli versus Atalanta. It is 17th versus 3rd. Now, Empoli, they are winless in their last 5 games, 4 defeats and just 1 draw. They are all over the place. They're just 1 point above that relegation zone. There's 1 point above Parma. So they know how important the situation is at the moment. They really need to get a win here somehow. But they are playing against Atalanta side who are really chasing for that title. They are out of the Champions League. Nobody expected it. I really did not think they were gonna get eliminated by Club Brugge, but it has happened. So now all their concentration is back on winning the Serie A title for the first time in their history. But there are issues going on between the Lukman and Gasperini, so that is going to be another important thing to take notice as well. But I think despite all of that, I think Atalanta are going to be able to get their job done this weekend. I think it's going to be quite an easy and a comfortable win for Atalanta. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Atalanta. We move on to Cagliari versus Juventus. It is 14th versus 4th. Now, Cagliari are one of those teams that can really surprise you. They have been quite inconsistent. Their performances have been good, but they have not been able to get the results from those performances. And as I say, they are one of those teams that can really, especially when they are at home, they can really be a very hard team to beat. And they are playing against a Juventus side who are currently in a really good form. They have won 4 out of their last 5 games as well. But they got knocked out of the Champions League by PSV midweek, so that is going to be playing on their heads as well. They are fighting it out to get back into those Champions League yet again. It is a really tight situation, and I think this game is going to be a very tough one for Juventus. I think mentally the players are going to be affected by as well, and Cagliari, as I said, they are very tough to break down at their home stadium, and I think it's going to be a very long night for Juventus. I am going for a very boring 0-0 draw between Cagliari and Juventus. And the last game of the weekend in Serie A this weekend is Roma versus Monza. It is 9th versus 20th. Roma have been brilliant in the last a month or so. Their last 5 games, 4 wins and just 1 draw. They are climbing up the top of the table. They are right back in contention for Europe as well. They are playing against a Monza side who are at the bottom of the table. Winless in their last 5 games, 4 defeats in a row, and I just don't see any other result apart from a Roma win. And their great run continuing. I am going for a very comfortable 4-0 win for Roma. And with that, my predictions for matchday 26 of Serie A are complete. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Let me know in the comment section below. Make your own predictions as well. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, so please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and help us out. Until next time, bye bye.